Hi, it's me, Sailor Pluto, Tessa here. Or Tessa here. Tessa. And today it's snowing out there again. Now, before I get into this film, I know I did talk about this many times before, so it's probably not going to be the first time or even the last time I've talked about this. So, still this day, folks still like to come at me and say, oh, how does it feel to know that your world, that Pluto's not a world anymore? Or it's a small world. Now, first off, this belief or thought that, okay, yes, Pluto is a small world, but this belief and thought that it cannot be a world since it's a small world I don't understand it. Okay? It makes no right to me. You know, there are going to be folks in this world who believe whatever someone tells them, even if they happen to be a well-known or name-known healer, and they went to a learn hall and they learned all this stuff. That's still a belief. It was still a belief or thought that since Pluto was small, it could not be a world. But they had to call it a small world because it was still a world, which I don't understand how they come up with that. Now, I'm not going to go through and... Now, first off, God made Pluto a small world. It is what it is, but it's still a world. It has its own moon, even though the moon's named after the man who seeked the world and not named after you know what. So, anyway, you got these folks who, I guess in their mind, they weren't happy they had 9 worlds in their starway? So, they wanted to knock it back to 8. Why? Who fucking knows? I don't. And I'm sure they don't even know either. So there's always going to be someone out there who always wants to say, oh, Pluto, how does it feel to know you're not a world anymore? Oh, I'm still a world, okay? Pluto's still a world. A small world, a little world, but still a world at the end of the day. You know? Some folks are going to say, oh, what wisdom is against wisdom fights you. Yeah, wisdom fights a lot of things, true. But sometimes wisdom always makes mistakes. Wisdom comes up with new thoughts and beliefs, you know. And I don't care. It does not help them at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I'm still the keeper of time. I'm still a sailor fighter. And my world is still a world, even if it's small. Okay? So, this whole, oh, Pluto is a small world, and it's not a world like they think that's gonna, help them or something. Which at the end of the day, it's not going to help them. And I get irked and mad still to this day when someone brings it up to me like, oh, I don't know. Hey, Tissa, you don't know that Pluto is a small world, a little world, and that some folks say it's not a world, but it is a world? Well, yeah. And a lot of them do this because they think, oh, that's going to get them a first strike on me. It's like, oh, she's an elder, but oh, okay, but her world is like a small world, and it's not a world, but it is a world. Yeah. And a lot of them out there tend to be my foes. Those are the ones that tend to say that shit. Like they think that means that my strikes and hits and all this other stuff isn't going to work. And I made this film about 6 years ago, and I'm still going to stand on what I said 6 years ago because I really haven't shifted that much. God made Pluto a small world, but at the end of the day, God still made Pluto a world. And I know some knowers out there some wise men and wise women, they don't like that. You know, some of them, even though some of them behave like, oh, well, you can't put worship and wisdom together. Okay, yeah, fuck you. You can. There are some folks in this world who are knowers, but also worshipers too. And there's also folks that know that God crafted and made everything. You know? And God made Pluto, or crafted Pluto, as a small world. Still a world, but a small world. It's in the name. Alright? And at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know? We living beings, we have no say in what God makes, but we do have a say in what we name it. And what thoughts and beliefs we come up with for it. But that's as far as it goes. So my belief is there were a bunch of folks about, 6 years ago, who, I guess for whatever grounds, were mad that God had made 9 worlds in our starway and just thought, hey, we could come up with some thought and belief that Pluto, being a small world, can't be a world. It doesn't give a shit if it has a moon or not, or it has some kind of, wakefulness. And we don't care if it takes a long time to go around the sun or not. We're going to say it's not a world. Oh, well, it is a world, but it's not a world. And we hope that everyone believes that. Well, here's the belief in that is it was a belief in thought. And I'm sure by now they have shifted their thought on it. But then again, I really don't care, because at the end of the day, Pluto is still a world, a small world, yes, but still a world. And anyone that wants to believe what they want to believe, hey, that's their own, choose their own pick, good for them. You know, even good for those wise men and wise women out there that came up with the thought and belief that Pluto was a small world, but it cannot be a world. Hey, that's their thought and belief, good for them. But at the end of the day, Pluto's still a world to me, and it still is a world, a small world, but still a world. You know? So it is what it is. Alright? That's the end of that shit. Alright? I'm Sail Pluto Tessa, or Tessa, I guess, or Tissa, and I hope you like this film.